Hey, what's going on, Z Nation? Zaid here, ZSPN. And today, guys, we're going to be talking about the Los Angeles Lakers and the NBA free agency. Starting tomorrow on November 20th, the NBA free agency market is going to kick off. So there's lots of things that the Lakers are going to be looking at when it comes to priorities of improving their roster. There is a couple of players that are in the Lakers' interest that I'm going to bring up in this particular video, and potential players that could potentially come back, but it still remains to be seen about those particular players. So I just want to give you guys my thoughts and my opinions about this particular report, and without further ado, let's just get right into it. So guys, the NBA draft is over as of right now. The NBA free agency is going to begin on November 20th. The Lakers have a lot of priorities in mind when it comes to improving their roster, when it comes to shooting and defensive players. Still remains to be seen who will they potentially go after, who will they be targeting. But judging by the reports and the suggestion reports that are being out there from Bleacher Report and etc., that most of the Lakers' mindset going into the free agency market is to go after some shooters and some defensive players. Players like Serge Ibaka. There's also Tristan Thompson has been mentioned in the conversation for potential target. And then there's also been some interest in mind that the Lakers are also going to be looking at as well. Wesley Matthews from the Bucks is somebody that the Lakers are going to be looking at as well. Because, with the whole trading of Danny Green, the Lakers want to look for a potential replacement for Danny Green. And even though they got Dennis Schroeder, which, by the way, it's official now. Here's the press release, so you guys will know who the Lakers will be bringing in when it comes to, who that made it official now. Dennis Schroeder is now a Los Angeles Laker. But yeah, Wesley Matthews is in the interest for the Los Angeles Lakers to be targeted. And there's also been some interest in mind that also from the Bucks in George Hill. He is up there in age. He's a former teammate of LeBron James. And there's been some aspects that the Lakers are going to be pursuing him as well. So that's somebody to look forward to as well. But I made countless videos when it comes to the Los Angeles Lakers and their interest in mind when it comes to who they'll be targeting in free agency to improve their roster for a potential repeat for another championship in 2021. Players in mind that I brought up in my last video was Jordan Clarkson. There's also Jeff Teague, DJ Augustine, and then there was some big men involved that I brought up as well, and that was Nerlens Noel. Now, those particular players the Lakers could potentially go after when it comes to replacements in mind, because as we all know, there's potential Laker players that are going to be going into the free agency market. Now, guys, there has been some, guaranteed chance that some players are not going to be coming back to the Los Angeles Lakers. From Rajon Rondo, there's been some talks and interest that the Lakers could potentially bring back Dwight Howard and Markieff Morris, but still remains to be seen about that because they haven't been really showing any indication that they will be coming back to the Los Angeles Lakers. So, and also Avery Bradley. He did say he wants to come back, but on a long-term contract, but still remains to be seen what type of long-term contract that the Lakers are going to be giving when it comes to that particular moment. So there's that sort of aspects of that particular idea that the Lakers could not bring back all the players, but excuse me, of that sort of aspects of that. So that's something that the Lakers could potentially look at. There's also some trade rumors that the Lakers could look at as well. In mind, really, there's been some talk that if the Lakers did bring back KCP on a big contract type of scenario, they could potentially do a sign-in trade with DeMar DeRozan. Now, yeah, DeMar DeRozan is still in the rumor mill of the conversation to be landed with the Los Angeles Lakers. There's still some reports out there. But as of right now, it's just a rumored. I don't really think it's going to happen, but there is the idea of KCP. He wants to come back to the Los Angeles Lakers. So there's that sort of rumor that being out there. So there's a lot of expectations and lots of unknowns of where the Lakers' mindset when it comes to the NBA free agency market. There's a couple of players in mind that the Lakers, I think that they should go pursue. There's Danilo Gallinari. He's always been in the rumor mill for the Los Angeles Lakers, but still remains to be seen of how much the Lakers would give to a Danilo Gallinari for that particular scenario, but he's in the conversation as well. And then there's somebody in mind that I really think the Lakers could pursue as well, and that is Carmelo Anthony. Yes, Carmelo Anthony, the guy who's always been, basically one of the best scorers of all time, really. I mean, in my opinion, I've seen him play throughout his career in Denver, so he has been such a huge promise throughout his career, and the only thing that's really holding him back, and that is having a championship under his belt. And I really think by the Lakers signing him to a very cheap, maybe a veteran minimum contract, I think it will really fit well for the Los Angeles Lakers, especially alongside LeBron James, his brother, his draft buddy. So he's just one of those type of players that the Lakers should consider. He showed up when he was signed to the Trailblazers, so especially in the playoffs. I mean, he stepped up at times. He averaged around 15 to 20 points a game. If he can give us that off the bench or potentially be a starter for the Lakers, but it still remains to be seen if that will potentially happen. But I'm just putting it out there. Then that's a possibility for the Los Angeles Lakers to do so. I really think that they should pursue a guy like that, but if that still remains, if he still has it. But I think he does, and I really think he'll fit well for the Los Angeles Lakers alongside LeBron James. So, yeah, guys, those are really the potential players that the Lakers should potentially pursue in the free agency market, but it still remains to be seen about that. I mean, I'm just putting out names that have been reported, but if there's a player in mind that we don't even know about that the Lakers do sign on the kickoff for the NBA free agency market, then I'll report it to you guys on this video so you guys can check it out. But in my opinion, if I am the GM and I have to say who I would sign that will really help out my team for a potential repeat, I'll go after Jordan Clarkson, Carmelo Anthony, and if there's a possibility that Serge Ibaka is not looking for a huge contract, somewhere around a mid-level type of contract, I'll go after him. And if there's a possibility, I can honestly say that those are the best options for the Los Angeles Lakers. I mean, both of those players that I brought up, the reason I picked them is because they are depth-wise, can play multiple positions at the bench role. Jordan Clarkson, he could play point guard and shooting guard. Carmelo Anthony, he could play the small forward and the power forward position. And then you also have Serge Ibaka, who could play the center and the power forward position, and could potentially start for the Los Angeles Lakers. And it's just still remains to be seen if JaVale McGee or Dwight Howard will come back, but still remains to be seen about that. But those are the type of players that I really think are realistic signees for the Los Angeles Lakers going into the free agency market. And judging by all that, I really think that they are the best fit for the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, I don't know if you guys have any free agents in mind that the Lakers should pursue in the free agency market. I really want to know your thoughts and your opinions in the comment section down below. And guys, I'll really consider some of your suggestions, because judging by what I'm seeing from the reports and who are available for a realistic signee for the Los Angeles Lakers, I really think the ones that I picked are a realistic signee for the Los Angeles Lakers going into the free agency market. So those are my suggestions, and these are the reports. So please comment down below, like, subscribe to the channel, share my videos all over Facebook, Twitter, all the good social media stuff, and please give me your thoughts about the free agency market. Who do you think the Lakers should pursue in the free agency market? Do you think that they should go after a Jordan Clarkson, a Jeff Teague, a DJ Augustine, or do you think that they should do some trades, possibly for Jordan Hill, or maybe a sign and trade deal for a DeMar DeRozan with KCP coming back, but still remains to be seen about that. These are just rumors, but I really think those are realistic ideas that the Lakers are going to be doing when it comes to the free agency market, which begins on November 20th on Friday. So tomorrow, by the time I upload this, is going to be on Thursday. So by the time that happens, I'll keep you guys up to date about everything that goes down when it comes to the Los Angeles Lakers, and with the rumors, updates, speculations about everything that goes down when it comes to the Los Angeles Lakers. And also, guys, please give me your thoughts about the player that the Lakers signed on the undrafted side of the spectrum of who they signed. Do you guys think it's a good move on their end, or do you think they should sign somebody else who was on the undrafted free agency market wise of potential players? Please comment down below, give me your thoughts about that, and I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Go Lakers. Take it easy, guys. Stay safe out there.